And we're live.
Oh, dude, it's wild.
Did you see, I texted you guys in our group chat today. Did you see Virginia legalized marijuana finally?
Yeah.
And so that's like a nice first step. They were saying the first southern state. Maybe I'm weird. I do not think of Virginia as southern at all because it's not even further south than Missouri, and I don't think of Missouri as a southern state.
I think of Missouri as a southern state before Virginia.
What's that?
They're a blue state now, which is kind of not southern, but where was the capital of the Confederacy?
I just mean geographically. Like I
Richmond
of them as the South.
Richmond, right?
Then they're relocated to like either Georgia or Alabama,
something like that.
Well,
yeah, but I don't. To me, southern is about the war, about the Civil War. That's what southern is to me. So
fair.
They were like not just a participant, like
it's the Mason-Dixon line.
Yeah, right. Like
well, that went right through Missouri. I don't.
Virginia is like the capital of the Civil War. They're the leading arm, the tip of the spear on this thing.
Tip of the spear.
It's funny how you look at it because, like, literally, I'll look at it and like I live in St. Louis for Alex's benefit, and I'll just like draw a line like with mentally across the country, and if it's north of that, it's like, well, that's not a southern state. What are you I don't live in the South. I'm in St. Louis. And so like I feel like what I consider the South is like Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Texas. I guess I'd throw Arkansas. Yeah, I might even I'll throw Kentucky and Tennessee in there too. But that whole section, and even Tennessee is a stretch because they're barely to the south of us. But like, and then I'll talk to other people and like, oh, Missouri, like a southern state. And it's like, no, not.
I totally look at it about Civil War participation. Like Texas, for example. Oh yeah, that was kind of before the South. Is New Mexico part of the South? No, that's the New South.
That's the Southeast. That's a different thing. Yeah.
Okay. We have a different definition of East, but I'll take it.
Southwest.
The other way.
As soon as he said it, I was like, but it's their show, so I don't want to say anything. But okay.
Stepping on us for being retarded. That's
oh man, retarded's kind of my thing. So you're stepping on my routine. No, but I'm all about, like, when you were like Tennessee is kind of south, like Tennessee, Kentucky, Virginia, Alabama, North Carolina. This is like south. Georgia. This is where like the heart of the slave owning southern shit came from.
I don't think of North Carolina as the South, and that's south of Missouri. I guess, looking at the map, Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas. Those would be the ones I consider the true South. You go to southern Missouri, where they call it that instead of Missouri, that is very southern, but I still barely think of that as the South.
Wow, the list of southern states is not what I expected. I Googled it, right?
Yeah.
These are not going to be on your list. All right. So Alabama, Arkansas, Delaware,
what?
Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maryland, Mississippi, North Carolina, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, Virginia, West Virginia, DC.
West Virginia.
West Virginia is totally southern to me.
Maryland is blowing my mind that they're saying Maryland is southern. That is so north.
The Mason-Dixon line runs through New Jersey. I grew up south of the Mason-Dixon line. That's why I discount that bullshit.
See, I think that maybe it was just different the way we were taught here, because because Missouri was such a split state, a ton of people in Missouri didn't even like fully participate in the Civil War. And so like, I guess from the Missouri perspective, like the southern part of the state was more southern, but they didn't even really fight for the South that much. And the northern part was more, they were kind of hanging out. We were taught like they had some other problems in the same era. The Mormons were a huge issue in Missouri in the 1800s. There was the Missouri Mormon War. You can look that up, where a bunch of Missourians were like, these fucking Mormons are marrying 15 people and they're acting weird. We don't like them. And so they chased, that's why they're all in Utah now. The Missourians chased them out. literally warred with them and chased them out. And so that's why there's
crazy.
no Mormons in Missouri anymore, and they're all in fucking Utah.
I think I was wrong about the Mason-Dixon line. I don't know. Locally, we always thought it went straight across. But
It seems to just take a hard right angle.
I've seen several pictures that just have it duck south for some reason.
Did Delaware even have slaves?
I don't know.
I don't know what the hell's going on in Delaware. They're not growing like produce and cotton, and are they? I don't know what happens in Delaware.
Delaware is just chilling, man. They're a state that's just chilling. You know, that's where you go to fake a business and operate it out of California. You know what I mean?
Now Delaware's chief income is those like 3 fucking tolls on I-95 that get you back to back to back.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, why is another $2? I've been 4 miles. Like, yeah, welcome to Delaware. There's no state taxes here. We just get tourists.
That's funny.
Not even Delaware tourists. People who wish they were New York on their way.
Most people just going through it. You know what I mean? And they're the contact tourism. Yeah. You know.
We were just talking about which states were southern. Kyle.
Yes, sir.
Is North Carolina a southern state?
Yes.
Okay. Virginia.
We don't really think of it as such at this point, but I think they're more southern leaning for the most part. Like if I had to, they're more southern than northern, but they're very. I think of it as mixed. You know, like it's biracial.
West Virginia.
Oh, big time southern state. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how do you pick whether a state's southern or not? Is it geography? For me, it was participation.
It's more about the culture. To me, it's about the current culture. I do see your Civil War point in the Mason-Dixon line, but for me, it's more about how the culture is there and what that's like. And when I think West Virginia, I think mountain folk, coal miners, blue collar, hardworking, not so educated, and all of those things just scream Southern to me.
By your definition, large parts of Pennsylvania are southern.
Yes, I mean, yeah,
it's
absolutely.
Pennsylvania for like most of their land area.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. That's absolutely true. I've been up there. Yeah, it is. It's like that big time. I didn't go to Scranton, but I was close enough to Scranton that there were road signs that said Scranton X amount of miles. So I was probably within 50 miles of it. And that's where they paid me to like fly up there and appear at that gun show that time. And I'm going to tell you, them was some good old boys. All right. It was one of those gun shows that had way too many Nazi artifacts for sale for my liking. Look, I'm all for historical artifacts, but I noticed there wasn't a whole lot of like British stuff laying around on shelves, and there wasn't a whole lot of like Russian or Japanese. There wasn't a Nambu.
Were they at least selling like, this is a German gun from World War II? It was like, this is my flag collection. Because that would make a difference for sure.
Yeah. Seemed a little gung-ho on the Nazi stuff. Yeah, I like your description of it too. The historical artifacts, I've covered this so many times, but I especially like ones that have seen combat. Just the idea that some guy in fear clutched this in mud while taking cover is fascinating to me. Like, this has been there. And it's not just war. Like, I went to a spot where Native American Indians washed their clothes, and it still looked like you could, like you could see why they chose this part of the riverbank and stuff. And I was like, I bet there was quite the social scene right here. Women squatting next to the moving water, talking to each other, hanging out with like
the gossiping and the social stuff that would happen. Like,